listening to Oilersnation Radio, a member of the Nation network of podcasts and delivered by DoorDash. 1 hour of straight hockey talk with Dan, Rick, Tyler, and Bag Milk starts now.
Oilersnation Radio episode 214. Bag Milk, Dan here, the rest of the crew. Where are they? They could be anywhere. We've got Liam sitting in as upgraded Tyler. We've got Waz sitting in as less bearded Rick. Gang's all here. Got an hour of Oilers talk coming up, or, well, we'll see how it gets because our pre-podcast chat.
We dove down a rabbit hole of Elvish.
Yes. We were also talking about Liam's accent.
I'd like to learn Elvish.
Would you?
Yeah. Big Lord of the Rings guy.
What applications would you see yourself using Elvish in?
Video games. I don't know what applications, though.
All right.
Yeah.
Like when you're chatting to people?
EXEs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Used to play a lot of World of Warcraft as a kid. So.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's something.
There it is. Was Warcraft guy.
Elvish guy.
Elvish guy also.
Welcome to the World of Warcraft podcast.
It's good to have dreams, Was. I appreciate you. And that's why I think our friends at Oodle Noodle would also appreciate your big, big dreams. 17 locations and counting. Although I did see Jay in the Oodle Noodle mentions the other day saying a new location is coming shortly. As early as August?
As early as that.
I'm really hoping it's the moon.
2 weeks.
I'm pulling for the moon.
Well,
Could be the moon.
you got to start somewhere.
Could be the
You're
metaverse.
going to take over the universe. How would you eat nudes in the metaverse, though, Was?
I don't know. I've never been in the metaverse yet, but you can just get your own noodles. I don't know.
Well, you need some kind of Oculus. Digital chopsticks. I don't know how this works. Oodle Noodle, 17 locations and counting. If you are feeling lazy because you've worked all week, I don't blame you. DoorDash is available to you. Got it? Liam, give me a fresh one.
Ding dong.
Thank you very much. Order Oodle Noodle through DoorDash today on Friday. That's going to lead us into our delicious debate where my friend Liam, I'm looking at his note app on his laptop. He has got a lot of research done for this week's delicious debate, so I will turn it over to you, sir.
So this became a debate last night as I was sat at the bar with my friend and we were talking about this.
Okay.
It was mostly on basketball, but I've changed it into a hockey thing. So the question is, since the Oilers dynasty ended in 1990 or 1992, whichever one you want to say, how many dynasties have there been since?
What counts as a dynasty?
I think you've got to be a consistent winner. I would say that's part of it.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be like 3 in a row per se.
No, I wouldn't say that. Like, we'll talk about it a little bit up here, but like, the Oilers won 5 and 6 Stanley Cups, 5 out of 6.
Unquestionable dynasty.
Yeah. So let's start with that. So the Oilers, I did from 1983 to 92 because I think that's when the Oilers stopped losing. That was the end of the dynasty.
Okay.
So they went to the Stanley Cup 6 times, won 5, and went to the Western Conference Finals 8 times and won 6. So that's winning. In 9 years, they went to the conference finals.
A lot of winning.
8 times.
Yeah.
So that's kind of there is no team on this list that has done this.
No, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. So arguably, there has been no dynasties since the Oilers have won, which is possible.
And that's where I take umbrage because my definition of a dynasty is different than that.
Well, what is
yours?
Well, my definition of a dynasty, while I understand it made sense for the Oilers to say that success was a big thing, I feel like it's a team that makes it so that the rest of their conference usually, but even their division, just shouldn't even bother trying. Like it's to me, it's a feel. It's a feel that you have during that time, and that's why I've added a couple of teams to your list. Added one team.
There was one team added I didn't have
because I consider them a dynasty, but Liam didn't necessarily feel like they were.
Okay, well, let's get into some of the teams you got.
Okay.
Because for me, a dynasty is if the wins don't come, then you're a pretender.
So is a win
Interested to see where you're going to think about
a
mine.
Stanley Cup?
It has to be cups involved.
Yes, I agree. Because my friend said Boston, and I was like, not even close. They have one.
Bruins?
The
The
Bruins.
Bruins. He said the Boston Bruins are a franchise, obviously, a dynasty.
They are a franchise, so your friend is right there.
Yeah, that was right of him. They are not even close to a dynasty.
The Bruins.
The Boston Bruins, who have won Stanley Cup, and they've been to 3 and lost.
Yeah, they went to 3. Like, I don't remember the years, but they went to 3 in quick
cups?
succession.
They have 1 cup.
One cup?
2011.
That's it?
They are a consistently very good team for the last decade.
At least.
I think they've won more in the past, but
Yeah,
not
I think
recently.
they've won, probably won in the 70s, I believe so.
Yeah, they have a lot more than one. So we'll start in 96 to 2002. The Colorado Avalanche, Dan's pick. 2 Stanley Cups in 2 attempts, and then...
How many years, though, were those cups?
So that was...
3 Stanley Cups, wasn't it?
Only 2.
No, it was only 2.
They beat New Jersey in 2001, and they beat Florida in 1996.
No, that's not a dynasty.
I don't consider it as a dynasty.
They were a fucking good team.
They're a very good team. I don't think they're a dynasty either.
That's where I put them into the mix, though, because, Liam, how many Western Conference Finals were they?
They have been to 6. So every single year, besides one from 96 to 2002, they went to a Western Conference Finals or a Stanley Cup Finals.
I mean, couldn't you put the Devils in the same conversation then? Because they won.
Devils are up the list. It's patience.
They're coming later.
You're skipping ahead, Young Waz.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just too excited.
Yeah.
I just, like, when I think of that team and I think of that time, that frame of time, and I think that the issue with both this team and then the next team that maybe one of the next teams that gets mentioned is that they were clashing with each other as dynasties. And that's where...
Did you just watch that Red Wings thing?
I did. I haven't seen it yet.
It's good. You should watch
I've
it.
only heard good things. Unrivaled by
I was going to look up what that was called. Yeah, it's really good.
But yeah, I feel like that's where I understand that you don't maybe mention them as a dynasty, but I think that they have to be in that conversation because they were just battling with each other all the time consistently. The other team is
Detroit, who were the exact same timeline, but 1995 to 2002. They have 3 Stanley Cups in 4 appearances. They went to the Western Conference Finals 5 times and won 4 of them. They have 2 second-round exits and 1 first-round exit.
I would say Detroit is because they've got the cups.
I think Detroit is too because they beat Colorado.
Yeah.
So that would be my argument is I don't think you can have 2 in the same era.
I've got no interest in their participation medals in Colorado.
One thing on Colorado is every time they lost, they actually lost to the Oilers in 98. They lost to Dallas in 99, who went on to win, then lost to Dallas again in 2000, who went on to win.
Well, that's too bad for them.
That is
don't
too bad.
say it like they actually lost to the Oilers. That was
Well,
such a good gutty team. That was
they actually lost. To the Oilers. So
The Oilers beat them down, Liam.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
in 7 games. Okay. So the Detroit Red Wings from 1995
we punctuated that point for us.
to 2002 is a dynasty.
I would say the Red Wings, yeah.
The Red Wings.
Yeah,
We
I
all in agreement? Warcraft
Maybe.
was?
Maybe.
Would they be a dynasty in World of Warcraft though?
That's hard to say. I don't know if there's really dynasties in World of Warcraft, to be honest.
Well, you're just not good enough then, Waz, I
Yeah.
guess. You know? Not
However,
playing,
they
I'm
did-
winning.
They did make the playoffs 20 years in a row, so I'll give them some credit for that.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That is impressive, yeah. Although a lot of those years, though, they were spending about double the average
Yes.
NHL salary, but, you know,
That is needed to be
there's
kept
little
in.
asterisks in there.
GM Ken Holland.
But I think that's a good point too to bring up because now as you get into the later teams, once we get into the salary cap era, then you have to start to think about that conversation of longevity not necessarily being a part of it, just because as soon as you win a Stanley Cup or 2, the contracts start rising, the
100%.
value of your players goes up exponentially.
So keep going down the list. I won't jump ahead.
So 2000 to 2003, the New Jersey Devils.
Nope. How many cups I got?
That's a tough span of years to list.
2.
I'm going to say no. I need 3.
You need 3.
Yep.
3 is the number for
Okay.
Beckman.
I'm a size queen.
I'm in no on the Devils too.
Are you? But World of Warcraft was.
Yeah, what does World of Warcraft was think?
I love
Devils?
that name for you. I don't know why. Yeah, but do you think the Devils is
no.
a dynasty? I don't also. I also don't. But I also think that may become from the fact that we aren't in the East, maybe for me.
And maybe it's also because I really hated the Devils at that time.
Well, and
I didn't like them at all.
do you feel like that Devils team was like staunch and just like nobody could get past them, or was that a team where
They
you
were
kind
good,
of
but they were boring. They were playing the trap.
I wish we had
Like
the chance to watch them.
They had a system.
they were playing the trap. Martin Brodeur was really
One of
good. Like
Jacques Lemaire was there early on in
Scott
that.
Stevens.
Scott Stevens was cool.
A couple big biceps.
Killed Paul Correa.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. So there isn't one for a while.
Okay, hit us.
So the next one is 2012 to 2014.
Los Angeles.
The Los Angeles Kings.
I'm gonna say no.
Dan?
Well, the number again, that year span is where we're starting to get tougher. But what are we saying statistically they're doing during that?
They had 2
During
cups.
3 years, they were the 8th seed in 1 year.
Yeah.
Two. They were
Yeah.
the 8th seed. So in 3 years, they won 2 cups and went to the conference finals 3 years in a row. Lost to Chicago the 1 year. 4-1.
The only dynasty they can be a part of is a convoy of Chrysler dynasties from the early 90s.
I actually have that in my notes.
The Chrysler Dynasty.
Chrysler Dynasty.
Dynasty.
That was my first car, just in case you're wondering. In 1991, it was a navy blue.
Wow.
Very nice.
What'd you call it? Did it have a name?
The Dynasty, actually.
Oh, yeah.
How many doors?
Dynasty.
How many doors? 4.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Did
That's
you
good living.
say
In 91.
the trunk is a door?
It could be a door. You consider a door, sure.
So is it a 4-door?
It would be a 5-door then in that case if we're counting the truck door.
Okay. So
allow
no to the Kings.
I'm saying no.
from, Liam? Where did the door question come
Is there more doors or wheels?
Yeah.
Is the whole thing again.
But do you consider a hood a door then?
No, because you can't get out.
What
of
about the
hood from
gas?
car.
What about the gas cap?
No, because you can't get out of the inside of the car from the gas cap. You can get out of it from.
What if you're
You
Ant-Man?
can get out from the hood.
That's a good point.
If you're Ant-Man, you can.
How many doors are there then?
Yeah.
The wheels and
6.
doors to bake goes out.
Seven.
What about a sunroof?
Sunroof.
Technically, it opens.
Oh,
but,
you
like,
can-
That could also be a door.
That could be a door.
And
Could be a
windows.
window.
Was it
Could
a
be a
six?
window.
6 door.
And we're windows.
Welcome to off-season mode.
You can jump out the window.
So LA Kings we've got as a no.
No.
All right. Now what? We got the Penguins probably?
But how many windows?
I didn't have the
did it-
Penguins on the list.
Really?
Oh, okay. Well, you can't just put the.
Why did you omit the Penguins? I'm curious.
I think he's saying that he didn't include them because he doesn't think that they are at all.
I don't think they are at all. So they won back to back. Very impressive. So they've been to 5. So from I think it was 2008 to 2017, they went to 5 Eastern Conference Finals. I think 4 Stanley Cups.
But they had no Western Conference Finals, so they're
Yeah, no
limited.
Western Conference Finals. So that was big. Outside of going to the conference finals, they never made it out of the second round. And they fell in the first round multiple times.
what is it now? 6 in a row or something like that
For what?
for the Penguins in the first round?
So hold on.
Yeah, something like
So
that.
Liam, you didn't consider the Kings as a dynasty, right?
No.
Okay, I was going to
These are
say
not.
if you consider the Kings a dynasty, I mean, the
No,
Penguins.
I didn't. I wrote it down on my notepad, but not on my notes. So
I kind of forgot the so there was the 2 cups for Pittsburgh in 2016, 2017. I forgot the gap was as long as it was from 2009, Crosby's first cup, to the second one in 2016.
and the thing to consider in that is Crosby had all his concussions.
Yes.
So he was out of lineup a ton, which I think you have to imagine if Crosby was playing, they'd probably make it back to a finals at least once.
Yeah, but that's
Probably makes him a dynasty from that era or in the conversation like of 2008 to say 2012. But I just think there's too big of a gap from when they went to the final and won in 2009 to when they won in 2016, and to only make a conference finals once between that gap isn't even in consideration with some of these teams. I don't think anyway.
Okay.
well, but Bag Milk did set his bar at 3 Stanley Cups. So Bag Milk, what do you think?
I'm going to say no just because of the gap between 2009 and 2016.
Yeah, because
If it was, say, like 2014 or whatever that they won that third one, then I would say yeah.
I would say that too.
But I think the back-to-back cups has to mean for something. To
I think it
help
means they're a very
like-
good team.
Yep.
But what's the difference between winning back to back and winning one in 2012, going to the conference finals, and then winning in 2014?
Well, in that case, you won 8 playoff rounds in a row, right? So technically, that may
Yeah, but then
that,
to never make it back again after and to go to 6, what did you say, 6 straight first round exits after
Something
they
like
won
that,
in
yeah.
2017?
2017, yeah.
I just don't think they're in the conversation with a few of these teams. Like I thought about it, but I just didn't put them on.
that one's tough.
It's important to remember that this dynasty thing is entirely made up, but
It's important to remember that this is factual and everybody's entitled to our opinion.
I remember it was like last year. I was watching an Islanders broadcast, and they're like, "Oh, the Oilers never had a dynasty because they didn't win 4 in a row."
Okay.
All right.
that's
Again, so
that's that's.
I think it's
the
important
definition
to also, if I want to hear from you, if you're listening to this, ON Radio Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. Also, I think I'm going to add a caveat. Where are your goalposts? Like I said, for
Yeah.
me, you have to win 3 in like 4 years or something like that.
I'm going to do my nation thoughts on this question.
Okay.
So look out for
Whoa.
that.
That'll be on Sunday probably.
Yeah, so I'll ask the question after the show.
Okay.
And then we can go from there.
Who's next after-
The next one.
Yep.
The Chicago Blackhawks.
or Chicago, depending on where you're from.
2009 to 2015. 3 for 3 at the Stanley Cup. Went to 5 Western Conference Finals, won 3. However, 2 first-round exits, one as the 8th seed and one as the 6th seed. Where do they land? I think this is the most interesting one on the sheet.
I would say they're a dynasty.
I would say they're closer than the Penguins were.
They're way closer, yeah.
They had 3 in 5 years.
So they won 2000. So I started this in 2009 because they went to the conference finals and then won the next year. So 2010 they beat Philly 4-2. Then they beat Boston in 2013 4-2. And then they beat Tampa 2015 4-2. And they lost to Vancouver in the first round, pushed it to 7 as the 8th seed, lost to Phoenix the year after in the first round as a 6th seed.
Chicago could be.
I changed my when you asked me this question initially, I would not have included Chicago in my list, and now I do. So thank you for that, Liam.
I'm going to go with it, especially if you're considering like as a modern dynasty, because I mean, I don't know, we haven't seen 3 in a row in a while. Like,
Yeah.
So,
Given the times, the salary cap, I would say, yeah, probably for Chicago.
I think they're the team that's kind of like between for me. Because I think the 2 first-round exits harms them massively. Now, if they were
What if they had things to do?
that maybe they did have summer plans.
They had like a houseboating trip or something, maybe?
Are you saying the Leafs aren't
Maybe.
good at all? Is that what you're trying to say, Liam?
something like that. I
The
think.
Leafs are a reverse dynasty.
Yes.
They are a
They're not on
dynasty.
the list.
I mean, we had a dynasty of first overall picks.
yeah.
So-
there you go.
We did.
So I think Chicago is the team that's kind of in the middle for me. Like they can be and can't be. I think it's fair to consider them the fact they have 3 and 5 years or whatever it was. So I would say Chicago is.
Okay.
Okay.
When you asked us this question, you said we had to say yes or no, and now you just said you're in the middle.
This is just the one team I can't really make my mind up on.
I'm going to make you do it right now. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to say
Decided.
this
Does
also.
it count that one of their cups was in a lockout year?
Yeah, I would say that.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
somebody had to win.
I just think the 2 years when they won a higher seed.
Important question for Waz to ask, because the next team that
Yes.
we're talking about
Yes.
Yes.
is
Tampa Bay Lightning.
the
No.
asterisk team.
No. Okay. Well, let me read it out.
Maybe if they win next year.
So they have 2 Stanley Cups back to back, obviously. They've been to the Stanley Cup Finals 4 times since
How about
2015.
Pat Maroon? Is he a dynasty?
There is also the option of a player dynasty, which I didn't make notes of, but something maybe that's next week.
Pat Maroon is a dynasty.
So 2 Stanley Cups in 4 attempts. They've been to the Eastern Conference Finals 6 times since 2015. They have 1 first-round elimination, which of course was the sweep by Columbus, and they missed the playoffs in 2017, and that was the year Stamkos was recovering from his leg or knee injury?
It was like
Leg.
All of
Something
the
was
above.
broken, probably.
Yeah.
Through a post.
So yeah,
Tried to.
Tampa Bay.
They got to win next year.
You think so?
They have to. Or I'm going to give them say no.
Okay.
I need 3.
They've only had 2.
That's
2 Stanley Cups.
Got knocked out in the
But-
first round. That
Yeah, I don't know. It's
No
yeah.
good.
I think that I
they
think
were the number 1 seed in that year.
we're definitely doing like a series or a what do you call it? Like a generational adjusted or era adjusted dynasty conversation.
I
here.
think you have to.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for
Because
sure. I
The
agree.
point you make that they won 11 playoff rounds in a row, essentially.
Yeah, they would have won 11.
Yeah,
'cause
that's
12 would have
pretty
been the Stanley
impressive.
Cup. They
But
won
to
the-
me, the conversation is going to be different if Tampa Bay loses in the first round this year and Colorado goes on and wins again. Just cruises through the West and wins again.
I agree. So
Right?
I would say the dynasty, the era, or whatever you want to call it right now, before we decide, is still alive until Tampa Bay is done before conference
Yeah.
finals. I think.
Yeah. Because like say the Leafs beat them in the first round this
Then
year.
I think it's done.
Yeah. Like I mean
Unless
that-
they went and won the Stanley Cup the year after.
that's the question.
Then it's
That's
back
the whole thing, right? Is it's like what have you done
have to
for me
win next
lately?
year.
Era adjusted dynasty conversation.
Yep. My era adjusted dynasty requires 3.
So
That's my rule.
So in 2016, they lost to Pittsburgh in 7 games in the Eastern Conference Finals, and Pittsburgh won. And in 2018, they lost in the Eastern Conference Finals again to Washington, who then went on to win.
Yeah.
Can't finish, can't close.
Well, they have 2 in a row since then.
Well, they learned to close.
One with an asterisk.
Yep.
2 with an asterisk.
Yeah, technically you could put 2.
Wow.
That's the thing.
The
is
whole
that
Nikita Kucherov thing.
they're a bit of a weird conversation because of the 2 they won. One was in the bubble after the season was ended.
Rogers Place right here.
Shout out to Edmonton.
And then the second one was adjusted divisions where Montreal and, who was it, Vegas were the Western Conference Finals.
Yes.
What are you saying about
Like-
Vegas?
I'm saying Montreal is not in the West.
But
So-
it's Canadian.
We'll go around the horn.
But they're more west than some places, like where you're from, England.
That is, well, it depends where you are in England, because I lived in the Northwest. So that was West.
Yeah.
Montreal is as east as that division could get.
Weast.
It was the West division.
Bag milk staring into my eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tampa Bay.
No.
Dan?
TBD.
Was?
Can I give like a 0.5? It's like 0.5 of a dynasty.
No. I'm going to give you a frowny cloud sticker for that.
I'm saying no right now, I guess.
I will also say no. I think they need one more, but
So you're agreeing that the 3-cup rule should be the standard.
I think that should be the standard.
Thank you.
But also to go to 6 conference finals since 2015 is extremely impressive.
Yeah, I think it depends on how you factor a dynasty nowadays. Does it involve just playoff rounds? Is it just cups? You know, it's.
I think I value it as consistent winning.
Yeah.
And I think that's the right way to do it.
Do you consider President's Trophy wins at all?
Yeah, I think you have
Okay,
to.
interesting.
And like, not if you win the President's Trophy and then lose consistently in the first. Like Washington is not a dynasty.
No.
But Tampa Bay when they lost in the first round, they were a number 1 seed. I didn't add up where they were on the other ones. I was curious by when they lost where they were, considering where Chicago were, the 6 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
So after our discussion,
Yes. Deliberations. Or delicious debate for our friends at Oodle Noodle.
delicious debate. So Tampa Bay is no. Chicago is yes. The Kings are a no. The Devils are a no. The Red Wings are the yes. And Colorado is a no.
That's right.
Since the Oilers dynasty, there has been 2 dynasties according to us.
Mm-hmm.
The Detroit Red Wings and the Chicago Blackhawks.
Ish.
And
Era
maybe
adjusted.
Tampa.
Maybe Tampa if they win next year.
Tampa's a TBD, right?
Yeah,
Right.
they're a TBD. They could be. But
They're
they
a no
won't be.
right now.
Yeah, right now they're a no.
Was there anyone we missed? Pittsburgh seemed to be the only one that was brought up
No,
again.
2 spaced out. They had those back-to-backs. I respect it.
Yeah.
But the third one,
No.
you know,
Okay.
what are you going to do?
Not win.
Nope. Not enough for my liking.
Well, there you have it.
Let us know what you
Debate
think.
sorted.
Yeah.
ON Radio Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. First of all, where are your goalposts? What's a dynasty to you? I say 3. Has to be in like 3, 4 years, 5 years, maybe at most. I want to know your rule. So do our friends at Oodle Noodle. Order them via DoorDash today because it's Friday. One more, Liam.
Ding dong.
Thank you.
I'd be curious to know too what other dynasties people think existed. So I got this from the Bill Simmons podcast, which is an NBA podcast, and he said there's only been 3 in NBA history. It was Boston in like the 60s, the Lakers with Magic, and then
Bulls.
The Bulls, and then the Warriors weren't one. And he said because they missed
How many championships the Warriors have? 4 and 7?
4, I think.
Is it 4 and 7?
It might be 5 now. No, it's 4. Yeah, 4 and 6. Yeah, 4 and 7.
I
They've lost
mean,
twice.
That's pretty. I mean,
Is it
4 and 6?
I think they've lost twice. Yeah, so he was saying his argument was that the Warriors missed 2 years of the playoffs, back-to-back years. One of them they didn't have Curry because he was injured. Then next year they had Curry and Draymond and a couple other guys, and they still missed the playoffs.
Well, and the difference is too with basketball is that you're consistently, if you're a top team, you're in the playoffs.
Exactly.
It's almost a guarantee.
Yeah, so for them to
Parity.
miss the playoffs 2 years in a row, the Curry one is excusable. Like you had your best player injured,
Yeah.
sure. That's why the Stamkos thing I think is important. But yeah, for the other one, it's not.
So I think
why I'm
I think it's
curious.
like a sport. That's a sport.
It definitely
switch too,
varies
right?
because
Dynasties are a common thing for hockey for a long time. They were.
Well, especially when teams
before.
like the Red Wings were able to spend double what everybody else was.
Yeah, because you had the Oilers, the
Yeah.
Islanders, the Canadians multiple times,
Yeah.
Toronto.
According to the Hockey Hall of Fame website, the Leafs had a dynasty, but I think there was only 4 teams in the league at that point, so maybe 6.
Who else is on the list?
Hang on, I closed it.
Well, Ottawa has more championships than anybody.
So,
What a shit ton.
according to the Hockey Hall of Fame website, the first NHL dynasty is the Ottawa Senators from 1919 to 1927. Then the Toronto Maple Leafs from 46 to 51, Red Wings from 49 to 55, Canadians from 55 to 60, Maple Leafs from 61 to 67, Canadians from 64 to 69. Nice. Canadians again from 75 to 79, then the Islanders, then the Oilers.
And that's it.
And some of those dynasties that they list are like 2 and 3 seasons apart.
So maybe the criteria is 4.
Islanders have like 3 years apart of them.
Could be.
Interesting.
Maybe none of ours are dynasties.
So maybe
Not according to the
these,
Hockey Hall of Fame.
Maybe these are modern dynasties.
Modern dynasties. Era adjusted, as Dan said.
They should make a Hockey Hall of Fame just for the salary cap era.
Why don't you do it, Waz?
When we go to Toronto
all
next
right.
month, I'm going to go and yell this at them.
There's probably a section. No?
For the
Section for
dynasties?
like the era adjusted ones?
Yeah, the modern era.
The asterisk division?
There's no way. Those guys, I bet you Hockey Hall of Fame stays away from that by like decades. They don't touch any of the recent stuff until long after we have access to computers.
What do you mean?
They don't want to hear from us. They don't want to hear our opinion about dynasties. They have their own.
Is there even a computer in there? Like, it's like,
In the Hockey Hall of Fame?
yeah, and like,
No, no.
It's all analog.
Hockey Hall of Fame is haunted.
Probably.
I'll go yell
by
at the ghosts
a little
next
girl.
month.
A little girl?
I saw it on TikTok. Look it up. Maybe it's on the website. Right next to the.
Are you haunted by a young girl?
Yeah, yeah. Look it up. I swear.
Let's
I saw.
call the Hockey Hall of Fame live
call it
on the broadcast.
We have that. We have that capability. We have the technology.
This one's off the rails.
Hockey Hall of Fame ghost revealed at last.
There you go.
Says the Toronto Star in 2009. Is the Hockey Hall of Fame haunted? So apparently this is a thing.
Yeah. There you go. TikTok never lies.
Oh, it would never lie.
No.
First we dance, then we investigate. That is TikTok's
does it
rules.
mean exorcism at the Hockey Hall of Fame?
Maybe if we have time.
Oh, hell yeah.
Maybe if we have time, I will bring my my kit. I always carry it around with me in my trunk just in case.
Just in case.
I want to get back to the Oilers for a second.
Oh yeah, right.
Talk a little bit of business. Matthias Janmark last Sunday signed a 1-year contract for $1.25 million. Almost like last year in Vegas, he made $2 million. Didn't have a great season. He had 67 games played, only 9 goals scored, and 16 assists for 25 points. But only a few years ago with Dallas, he had 19 goals and 15 assists. So I just want to ask everybody, do you like the signing? Depth move should help the fourth line, possibly third line, depending on what where he slots in. But for the money, you've got a guy here with a little bit of touch that could chip in some goals. And the Oilers obviously need secondary scoring. Dan?
And he has killed penalties before,
He has,
which
yep.
is huge on our fourth line.
Yep.
So
to Brassard.
and also it had a lot of points on the power play. Strangely enough, last year he had I think 12 points, 13 points for a guy that you don't count on that kind of production from. So yeah, he looks like he's a kind of a utility guy. And for the money that we got him for, whatever.
Yeah, 1.25 is hard to complain about it. Was
Yeah, I think it's also nice to see that he has like a little bit of NHL experience, right?
420 games. Nice.
Yeah, so you can't really complain with that. So, I mean, it's a bottom 6 signing. I mean, I'm not going crazy head over heels for it. It's like, okay, let's see what he does. It's always good to have depth, though.
Liam, could Matthias Janmark be the answer?
Possibly, and apparently he has more to his name.
Yeah, Matthias Janmark Nyland.
That's big.
Yeah.
Replaces Nygaard.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Drop the Nyland though. Interesting choice. It's only
Matthias
Nugent
Nyland.
Hopkins that went with the hyphenated name. It seems like.
Yeah, wanted to live by his family name, I suppose.
I wonder who the biggest name bar in the NHL is right now.
I remember when I lived in England.
Oh, I wish I could remember that guy in baseball, but where it goes basically from hip to hip.
Yeah,
So
the
good.
goalie's name on the team I used to, still like, was
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
Jussi Jaskalainen. It was J-A-A. It was a bunch of
Timo
stuff.
Hartikainen?
And I remember once I bought a goalie jersey, and I was like, I want Jaskalainen on the back.
Absolutely.
My dad was like, absolutely not. You can have Jussi on the back of the jersey.
Why was he paying by the letter?
Yeah, you had to pay by the letter, so I got the 5-letter name right. That's awesome. Jaskalainen's 12 or something like that. So yeah, Nyland. I think he'll be good. I feel like he's a guy, if you kind of need to, like injuries happen, like if he ends up in your middle 6 role, like if he plays on the second line one day, I don't think it would be like that much of a harm. Ken Holland drafted him.
Naturally.
In 2013. He's a 3rd-round pick.
Was he a Toronto Maple Leaf ever?
Unfortunately not. So the
The meme's still in the shadows.
Yeah.
We tried.
In case you were wondering, Liam, and I know you were, the longest last name of any skater or goaltender to play at least one NHL game was Jordan LaValle Smotherman.
Ooh. When did he
19 characters. He later simplified to just Smotherman, which is a modest 10.
Didn't go
by
with
comparison.
the Lavalley, went with the Smotherman.
Yeah, that's a good one. There used to be another soccer player called Jan Van of Horslong
Oh, I've heard of this guy,
or something
I think
like
so,
that.
yeah.
I can't even say it was a mouthful.
Pardon me?
He had off in his name.
Off like OFF?
Van Off, something like that. I'll look it up at some point, maybe right now. But
Maybe right now.
Not like we're doing anything else.
This is great. I love this.
This is good summer content.
Jan Vengo of Hesselink.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of him.
Man, that is a name.
That's how names used to be, Liam. You know about that. All from your own country. That's how we used to do it.
Wow, look at how that looks on a jersey.
The thing is,
Can we post that on ON Radio socials?
so
Yeah, I'll throw
Look
it
at that. That is amazing.
Oh,
I would love to have that on one of my jerseys, I think.
What a regal name
might
that
be in
is.
the kit, man. You want to do that.
But like even like I've got a couple of Ryan Nugent-Hopkins jerseys and it doesn't do that at all. I mean, I guess it's not as long as this.
Words.
Yeah, his last name is
Gets
3
smaller,
words.
though, doesn't it, on the Nuge Hopkins? Isn't the font a little bit smaller than
Oh,
regular?
I've got one out there.
Oh.
It's just
I'll have to
funny how his first name is Jan.
Well, they need to shorten up somewhere. You know?
So yeah, Yanmark should be good. I feel like
To bring it full circle.
to bring it back to Yanmark. I think they have him penciled in on the 4th line on daily faceoff right now. On the left wing. I'm sure he can play all 3 positions too, which is kind of nice to have a guy.
I like that. A little bit of versatility.
Yeah, it's good to have. Like,
Is he right-handed or left-handed?
I believe he's actually a lefty.
He's a lefty,
he is
yeah.
a lefty. So right now they have Yanmark, Derek Ryan, and Devon Shaw as the 4th line, which honestly I'm not that happy with. I'd rather.
What would you like to see there?
I would like to see an upgrade over Shaw. Like I don't mind Shaw.
But what about the way he cheers for the boys?
That's why he's still around.
His birthday was this past week.
Oh well.
Devin Shore, yeah.
Happy birthday.
sorry.
Liam's cutting you from the
Yeah.
team.
Sorry, Devon.
Great hype, man.
I would like to see Shaw as a 3rd, 4th, like 13th forward probably.
Yeah,
Also,
maybe.
I think that's something to consider is Yanmark switches over to the right, Derek Ryan in the middle, Foegele comes down, and you have Dylan Holloway.
How about Greg McKegg?
Yeah, it is interesting that Daily Faceoff right now doesn't have
Holloway, yeah.
Holloway listed in there at all. I wonder if the plan might be where he slots in where that Foegele thing is.
Did you say that into your microphone
think
bag?
so.
Or,
Yeah,
boss?
Greg McKegg. Liam heard me.
Greg the Egg.
Yeah.
Greg McKegg is going to be in the mix here somewhere too.
I just didn't hear you in my headphones.
If you remember, Greg McKegg is the guy that pushed Mikko Koskinen from behind in the net, and where Mikko did that big yard sale in the crease. It was very good. I'm looking at it on Reddit.
I
was
forgot
looking
about
on
that.
Reddit. Yeah, it was Greg McKegg.
He was a guest on the Suitcase and the Scribe.
And
Great guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
quality person.
Seemed like a good person.
Excellent.
Took the time out of his day to join us. It was.
We're going to call him now for ONR? Perfect. Let's
Yeah,
go.
Here he is. Greg the
Matthias
Egg.
Janmark on the
Greg
line.
the
Oh,
Egg
Greg
McKegg joining us again. Greg McKegg, if you're listening to this, which I know you are, we want to see you wearing 69 for the Oilers. You did it in the Leafs organization. We want to see it here. Nice. It would be hilarious. To quote,
Well, he's the only player I can really use for like a countdown, right? Like,
yeah, or you got to match two together.
yeah.
In years past, I would do a Adam Larson with a Taylor Hall in New Jersey.
There's
You know?
no 69s in Oilers history.
Nope.
No.
Just Greg
There's not many
McKegg.
69s in NHL history.
Yeah, there's really not. It's very, very low.
That is a shame.
It is a shame.
It's a dangerous name to go with.
Just gonna post the Yan video. The
Perfect.
Yan thing.
Yeah, of course.
Give our listeners a play-by-play of what you're doing.
Yeah, that guy with the extremely long last name is going up on our socials so that when you see it before the podcast goes out, and you'll be like, what the fuck are they talking about on Oilersnation Radio today? Got it? Good.
Summer.
Waz, I'm going to give you last word on Matthias Yanmark.
I'm excited to watch him on the 4th line.
There you go.
There you go. I don't imagine he's gonna play many minutes. I trust the opinion of the head scout of the Sherwood Park Crusaders.
Was.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
My
Was, he
secret
said he's gonna give you the
identity
word.
Has come out too
One
much.
word.
Yeah,
And you
Liam's the
said a
head.
bunch of sentence.
The title for this podcast is Liam is the head scout for the Sherwood Park Crusaders.
I had someone message me today asking me my opinion on Daniel Sprong because I'm a scout and have expertise.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
I gotta
Well-
watch Daniel Sprong.
The system works. The system works.
Yeah, I think Yanmark will be fine. I mean, it's harmless, right? Like, what does it matter? Like,
you can't get
expect
Liam
much
off of a
like
topic.
bottom 6 forward. I'm sorry. Like,
Well, and here's the thing, too, is like this guy has scored 19 goals at the NHL level. He's
Yeah.
going to chip in with a little offense. If he can play sound two-way hockey, chip in a little bit,
if he-
what can you complain about?
if he gets to Derek Ryan levels, I'll be happy.
We talked about Matthias Janmark longer than he will play in any game this season.
How dare you?
I actually think he'll play quite a lot.
Vegas fans were surprised at the deal we got for him. I was cruising Twitter the other day.
Well, here's a question.
Go ahead.
Vegas has fans?
If Warren Foegele goes, what if Janmark is just Foegele?
What if Yanmark is just Foegele?
What if
cheaper Foegele?
$1 million less, maybe $1.5 million less, and Janmark gives you the exact same production as what Foegele did? What if Foegele get 9 goals this year?
Something like that.
You get 20 points from Janmark, and you ship out Foegele, and then you have Dylan Holloway somewhere. Like, I feel like that's kind of what the Oilers might be hoping for here. Is that's what they get from him, right? Do you
Maybe.
think
Sure.
possible?
Yeah. I mean, it seems like they're trying to clear salary, right? Because they've got the arbitration things, which I want to get to.
Yes. Shall we get to that?
Yeah. Arbitration 2 for the Oilers coming up July 29th. That's for Puljujarvi. And then August 7th, that is for Kailer Yamamoto. Though, Liam, you said that Yamamoto may sign before that?
I'm sure. People were saying on Twitter, Stauffer was saying there's a chance he could sign before his arbitration date, which I don't have on hand. But it was 2 or 3 year deal, which I think is just best for both parties, right? Like, I don't.
But like like $3 million?
Yeah, which I think is what we all expected, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
what was
so.
it? 3.6 is what was estimated for him to get at arbitration.
$4 million because he got 40 points.
Oh, Puljujarvi was
Puljujarvi is
3.6,
3.6.
right? Yeah, so if you can get him at, what if you got him at 3.5? Would that be disappointing?
Not really.
I don't think so either.
The only thing I worry about with Yamo is he's just a wee lad, and I'm worried about his ability to just stay healthy. That's the only thing I worry about with him.
Has he ever been injured?
A little bit banged up.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like he missed in the playoffs because he got concussed by that blindside, not blindside hit by Gabriel Landeskog.
Yeah, those hits need to get eliminated from the game, according to Gabriel Landeskog. Mm-hmm. I think he's just a player you have to keep. He seems like he's someone who's just guys like to be around anyway. Like those are the kind of players you want to have a championship team.
So in the COVID shortened season, he played 52 of 56. Last year he played 81 of 82. So he's been reasonably healthy over the last couple of years with the Oilers, which is almost a little bit surprising given the way he plays. He's tenacious out there, Dan.
Yeah, I'm as the summer rolls on, I'm less and less bullish on Yamamoto than I found myself at the end of the season.
Pourquoi?
I don't know what the
Pourquoi?
I don't know what the reasoning is. I think it's maybe it's just because I want Jesse Puljujarvi here so bad.
According to Daniel Nugent-Bowman of The Athletic, given that the Oilers are not getting very good offers for him, wouldn't be surprised to see him back in October. How do you feel about that, Dan?
I'm happy with it, except for that it's like, to me, it's, you know, you've heard that the league wanted to have his arbitration put at the front so that other teams would know what his value is and be able to help their arbitration case or hurt their arbitration case, I guess. I don't know. Like, to me, it's going to be a big contract, and that probably doesn't help the team, and it certainly doesn't help, you know, your relationship going forward. So.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk about, because arbitration to me is one of the wildest things in sports, where essentially you walk into a room with a third party in there. Your boss is on one side of the table, you're on the other side, and he's telling you all the reasons you suck and why he just shouldn't pay you all that money. Can you imagine I did that with you, Waz?
I don't know how I'd feel.
Probably be hurt.
Maybe.
I'd be hurt. I wouldn't want you to tell me why I suck.
No, I mean, I wouldn't want you to tell me why I suck, but I'm open to it.
I would just tell you why I suck, and then you could tell me why you suck.
Oh, just like
Constructive criticism, you know?
Wouldn't go
It's
to
good.
the meeting.
just let the agent do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the move too. But I wonder, so the Oilers have had their last 8 arbitration cases have been settled before an arbitrator even got a chance to see it. So I wonder if we're going to get that.
It's a big word.
Has Ken had a arbitration case yet?
I imagine in Detroit he's had many.
Yes,
You know?
but I was wondering, has he had any here in Edmonton? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think we've been in that spot yet, have we?
No, I think, like Bag Milk said, with the 8, I guess that would probably push us back a few years, at least 8 years.
Brownlee wrote about it, right? Was that
Yeah, Brownlee wrote about it. Yeah, going back, it looks like it have to go back to Detroit.
Yeah. Which he does often.
Yeah, did you know that he was the GM of Detroit?
No. Which one?
The Tigers, I believe.
What's this thing with arbitration where a player it's valued like $100,000 per point?
So that's the general rule in arbitration. Is it can be give or take, obviously.
Okay.
But if you get 36 points, chances are you're going to be falling in that 3.6 million So for yes, Puljujarvi, 36 points, $3.6 million bucks. Would you pay him that? I don't know. It's up to other people to decide. However, is $3.6 million that egregious for yes, Puljujarvi when we had Zach Cassian on the team last year making 3.2, producing half of what
he did.
Puljujarvi did?
No, I don't think so.
You know, so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. The Oilers, they've got a little bit of space, not a whole lot of space. What do you think happens, Liam?
I think they both, like, in the sense of how much they'll get paid or if they stay.
Yeah, I'll say if they stay, because obviously who knows what they're going to get paid.
I think Puljujarvi will stay now. It feels like the Keith thing, but in a bit of an opposite way, where the longer it went on, we thought Keith was going to retire, and then he did. I just feel like the longer this goes on with Puljujarvi, the more likely he is going to stay. Like, everyone's been moved. Everyone who's available has been moved besides Puljujarvi and now Matthew Tkachuk. I don't know. Holland doesn't seem interested in just moving him for something he doesn't want.
He wants a player.
He's proven it.
Yeah,
he's proven it twice before. Now, if the Oilers had got Connor Brown, then
That would be different,
I think
yeah,
it would have been different. But they didn't. And Patrick Kane's on his way. Maybe Puljujarvi's in that deal.
We're going to talk about that in a second.
Okay.
Dan, what do you think about this arbitration process? Do you think they get done before? I could see Yessi's going through, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think Yessi's is going to be finished. I think that's absolutely set up to be one of the cases that actually gets heard this time. When you set that schedule, you're setting it with the purpose of like the league knows what's going to happen in most of these cases. I think, I don't know, like maybe I'm out to lunch, but the ones that they put at the end, I think they know are going to go one way, whether it's a trade or a sign beforehand. And then the ones that go early are the ones that they actually think are going to get arbitrated.
Why does he think these guys are coming back, or are they moving on?
I think with Puljujarvi, it's a 50-50. I think either he comes back or he doesn't.
That is true.
Yeah, but I think Yamamoto will stay definitely.
Yeah.
I just feel like he has something with the boys in the team as well, just that chemistry that's pretty valuable. I don't know if Ken Holland views that or anyone, but like in my opinion, I think Yamamoto will stay. I'm just very interested to see how much Puljujarvi would make if he resigns.
Well, we got a week until this arbitration hearing, so hopefully we'll have some kind of resolve. But between now and then,
however, Ryan Macleod, I hope gets done soon.
Ryan Macleod, according to Daniel Nugent-Bowman, looking at a 1 or 2 year, somewhere around the $1 million mark. I personally would go along with him, although I don't know if his agent would want to do that.
Mm-hmm. Has there ever been a point in the summer where you guys have felt worried that Yamamoto was going to leave?
No.
I don't know if I felt that once. Even when he was on Frank's list, I never, ever thought.
I never did either. Though saying that his last contract last year was a 1 year deal and it didn't get signed until late September.
That's true.
So I wonder if they're going to have a harder time with him. But with an arbitration hearing coming up for August 7th, that's a couple of weeks away. Do you want to go through it? Because if I'm a player, I do not want to go through it.
He's from Washington, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Washington State. So we never have to worry about him going a tad closer to home.
Well, you could. Yeah, a tad closer to home would be Calgary. Yeah, he's from Spokane, Washington.
Yeah, okay.
Well, no, in that case, wouldn't it be Winnipeg?
So, yeah.
You go a little bit closer to Winnipeg, yeah.
Isn't it over there?
Washington
Liam
State,
points to
underneath BC.
It was a Johnny Gaudreau.
It is under BC.
It's a Johnny
right?
Gaudreau
I think
joke.
I've been there.
It's a Johnny Gaudreau joke.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Family reasons.
I was trying.
Family reasons.
Yeah, 2 players. We're going to see who comes back, who doesn't. I hope both come back.
I do too.
I like them both.
I just don't know how they make the money work. If
I don't know how they make
you
the money
believe
work.
Jesse Puljujarvi's arbitration rumors to be true of over $4 million a year.
I think you move Foegele and Barry and then sign both of them and get a good defenseman. I think that's how you
I wonder,
figure it out.
I would not at all be surprised, and obviously I don't know anything, I'm just guessing, if Warren Foegele is traded before the Puljujarvi's arbitration hearing next week, just in case. Mm-hmm. Need that extra money.
Because I think you're able to go $8 million over the cap.
Something like that.
I think it's around that. So they're pretty close to it right now.
Look at Tampa or Vegas. That's how much you can go over.
Yeah, because Vegas still have to put Weber on LTIR till free up. Is he $10 million?
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
Holy moly.
Our friends at Cornerstone Insurance have got all the products that you could ever hope for or need in your life. Auto, residential, commercial, life insurance. They've got it all. CornerstoneINS.ca and citizens of the nation will get themselves a little discount by clicking the button that's right there on the screen. For 90 years and 4 generations, Cornerstone Insurance has been a family and employee-owned business right here in the capital city. I encourage you to use them for all your insurance needs. CornerstoneINS.ca. Liam, I wanted to ask you about something.
Okay.
But first, I'm going to clear up a couple of housekeeping items here. Bouchard changed his number from 75 to number 2. Number 2 was the number he wore with the London Knights. Not surprising, though, when you've got a Hall of Famer as your defensive partner for the year. Hard to change it, don't you think? Of course.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Keith moved on. Dad moving into number 2. Another news, former Oiler Andre Sekera retired. Sexy Reg, of course, the shin pad assassin. We wish you well. He was a great defenseman for a long time. Well, maybe great's a little heavy, but he was a solid defenseman for a long time.
Incredible.
No real complaints.
Incredible seeing his decline after the
Time's a ruthless motherfucker, you know?
the Getzlaff slash.
Yeah, after that injury.
Just like you can look at I don't know what
Yeah, it was in the playoffs,
fancy
wasn't it?
stat
2017.
it is. Yeah, but there's a chart out there that I see all the time of his projections and his production, and it just absolutely plummets after Getzlaff.
Yeah, so after that playoff year, so that was 2016-17, he played 11 games in the playoffs. The next year, he only played 36 games total for the Oilers. The year after that, he only played 24.
What will we tell Corey, though?
Then he moved on to Dallas, where he finished up the last 3 years.
Corey
of his
lost
career.
back-to-back cups, so it's okay.
Yeah. Karma going to get you down.
Yep.
Hasn't he lost 3 in a row?
I'm pretty sure it's
I think it was
3.
3. Never mind.
Yeah, that's rough.
Who was he with before? Oh, he was with Dallas, Montreal,
Dallas, Montreal, Tampa.
Tampa. Oof. Colorado next year.
Yikes. That's a dynasty right
At least
there.
you get to see the award ceremony 3 times. Huh?
Yeah.
That must be fun.
Know how it feels.
I got to see the award ceremony when Colorado swept us. That was interesting. That's all I had to
Oh,
say.
you were there?
Yeah.
You were at game 4?
Yeah.
Thanks for that
It's kinda
memory
cool.
was.
It's like- I'm sorry.
I would have left.
I'm like, oh, I've never seen this happen. I've only seen this in video games.
Yep, I would have left.
Well, it's like Stefan Diggs when. Do you remember that in the NFL when the Vikings lost and Diggs was the only Vikings player? Watts was the only Oilers fan left.
Yeah,
in the
Watts was the
building.
only guy. He was the last man standing around
Hey.
this place.
It's a winning mentality.
Somebody's got to make us look classy to the Colorado media.
Time. Just stepping on a Rogers place. It's like, oh, it's over. Okay. Anyways.
Warcraft was.
Yeah.
Warcraft was, he will watch all celebrations.
Yeah.
It's World of Warcraft was.
Only
Come on.
3,000 hours played.
Got to have that world in there.
One thing that I want to talk to you about, Liam, because it's starting to pick up a little traction. Oilers fans want Patrick Kane, so I just want to ask you about it.
Yeah. So do I.
You've been on this train for a while now, though.
I got called an idiot by someone who is usually on this podcast and not named Rick, who isn't here,
Yep,
for bringing this up.
that is true. He did call you an idiot.
He called me. I brought this up because I was listening to NHL radio on the way home from here one day, and they were like talking about Patrick Kane and like where he could go. And I just thought, why not the Oilers?
Did
And
Jay call you an idiot?
No, not quite. And then I was on it for a little bit. No one seemed to agree. And then on the Daily Face-Off Live free agent show, Frank said the Oilers were front runners, and it's just taken off.
But like, I don't even understand how that works because he makes 10.5 or something like that,
Well,
right? So you would have to get them to retain half, and then what? You can't trade for him until the trade deadline when his actual value is one something.
Or you could get a third team in the mix and knock them down to $2.5 million or so.
Did you guys see what Gazzola said about Kane, though?
He said they weren't in the conversation, right?
He said basically there's no interest in Patrick Kane from an Oilers standpoint, and it's something that came up in recent meetings among hockey ops, and it was shut down by everybody at the top, starting with Ken Holland. He said that on the oil stream with Dusty Nielsen, so.
I don't believe it. Like, I just don't know why Frank would say something like that without some like serious backing.
Yeah, if Frank said it was
That's
up,
tr- yeah.
I would buy it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I could also see that the Oilers being like, well, maybe not right now.
That's what I think. I think Patrick Kane's also like that.
I could,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like a
that's what I was
deadline
just
day
gonna say.
deal almost.
I think he wants to kind of see what this is going to be like. But also, I just don't know why he would want that. You know?
To stick in Chicago and just be on a shitty team.
It's you and Taves and Seth Jones and, I don't know, Max Domi,
Yeah.
who's also probably going to be an Oiler.
Caleb Jones?
Max Domi, too, is coming here.
Well, he signed a 1-year deal, didn't he? I would love Max Domi, to be honest.
Yeah, I would. After the one punch on Kessler, always, forever.
Yeah, forever and ever.
Amen.
But yeah, I mean, would you guys want Patrick Kane? How could you not?
Yeah, of course.
I just don't know how you wouldn't want him. Like, so you'll get $5 million is what it would cost. Why do you seem very unsure?
I mean, I'd rather focus on defense other than Patrick Kane.
But Colorado scored like 20 goals a game.
I get that, but when you have a defenseman like, Cale Makar, that kind of helps.
Yeah, but what if you get to trade deadline and it's like, okay, the Oilers are in the run and then Patrick Kane's there? I feel like that's kind of the scenario.
I did post that. I posted my opinion on Twitter about it, and people replied, "Well, you know what? There's nothing wrong with scoring a lot of goals."
Yeah.
Sometimes
It's
the
fun.
best
It's a lot
defense
of
is a good
fun.
offense.
Yeah.
Well, actually, if you score more goals than the other team, you win.
And the more I'm thinking
That is
about,
true.
maybe today's NHL is kind of going that direction. More offense, less defense. Just score goals and you're good.
I just don't know how they would make it work. What assets would have to go to Chicago to make it work?
What if, hypothetically, you get to the point and you don't have Barry and Foegele at this point? They've moved those guys out. So you're looking at it and you're like, okay, we'll give you a first-round pick this year. Say we'll give you Broberg or Bourgault, someone like that, and we'll give you Yamamoto for Patrick Kane.
But then he's a one and done though. That's a heavy ticket for a one and done.
Maybe that is heavy, but would you say that's kind of how I think?
Yes, I would say no to that.
I would say no to it.
You would say no.
I would love to have the player Patrick Kane on the lineup. First of all, how much fun would it be for Gene to have Kane to McDavid?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that would be big.
I just that's a heavy, like if that's the
That's
package,
Something
Yeah.
just came into my. I don't
It's
even
just too
know.
heavy.
I can't-
No, Liam, no.
you're a head scout. We have to trust your opinions on
I
this.
don't make trades. I just tell
No.
people what's good. So what would you move from? At the deadline, hypothetically, Foegele and Barry are gone.
Can I interest you in Slater Cuckoo and Devon Shore?
They do know the player in Slater Cuckoo.
Former Blackhawk Slater Cuckoo
They might want him back.
from the bubble.
Yeah, he wasn't a bubble, wasn't he? He scored against us.
Yes, he did.
Good for him. I forgot he was in the league until that bubble.
Yep.
Isn't that maybe one of those places where then you see a Foegele or a Barry go the other way?
It would have to.
Halftime.
But
It
I
would
just
have to
feel
make
like
money work.
they'll
that time.
already be gone. That's kind of my thing. I feel like the Oilers would have had to make money work to make themselves, put
you'd
themselves
have
in a
to get a
position
third
to
team
get
involved.
Kane.
Or you would have to get a
Yeah,
third
you
team
can get a
involved.
third
Probably.
team.
Which when we say that, we also forgetting, or that not forgetting, but we're just kind of ignoring the fact that Ken Holland is not a 3-team trade kind of guy,
Yeah, I would agree with that.
right? Like I'd love
Maybe
to,
Brad Holland is.
How
Yeah.
often do you see like 3-team trades nowadays?
very rarely, and it's
One.
usually a GM that
Like we just saw
dealing and
one.
dealing.
Florida did one with Max Domi.
Yeah, we just saw one
Wax
at
Domi.
the draft with Montreal, New York, and Chicago.
Yeah, that's right. Chicago, yeah. Chicago's did
I
it.
just don't know. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to retain 50% of his salary, right? Like,
I
have to.
I don't see why Chicago wouldn't.
yeah.
Like,
But they
they're
also
gonna
didn't
get
do
assets
that
out
with
of it.
Duncan Keith somehow.
It's a different GM.
Oh, true. Okay, fair enough.
Different GM. I just think that, what's his name? Kyle Davidson.
Yeah.
Wants nothing to do with anybody on the current Blackhawks.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Like, looking at this roster,
Like for him to trade Kirby Doc and be like, that's going to boost the rebuild. Like
Yeah.
I don't get that one at
that'll
all.
help.
Doc was just on dropping the gloves actually, and he was talking about how devastating it was for him to get moved
Yeah.
from that organization. But they told him right from the start.
So the first line for Chicago is Philip
Kurashev,
Kurashev, Lucas Reichel, and Patrick Kane.
Yeah, Kane's super pumped on that. I
Yeah,
imagine
I think
he's like, you used to play with Panarin,
well,
and
that-
now
yeah.
you're playing with fucking Kurashev.
Well, what if Patrick Kane's, I can stick one more year to play with Connor Bedard?
I just don't know why he would want to waste his time. Like even
Maybe
Taves, like,
maybe he could also just be a guy who he's got his rings.
he's got 3.
He doesn't give a fuck.
He's part of a dynasty. Maybe he is
An
like
alleged
that.
dynasty.
I don't know. I would love it, and I would
I would love it too. Like,
honestly do almost
something,
anything
yeah.
to get him.
I'd love to see him play with Connor.
Kane to Connor.
Jack Michaels had a great
Especially
time with that.
if you get rid of Puljujarvi, like that right side is so weak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you do need someone to come in on that side. So yeah,
He would be an amazing difference maker. Another thing I wanted to ask you about before we get to Ask the Idiots, I only got 3 questions for Ask the Idiots this week, is Xavier Bourgault. Can you actually see him playing for the Oilers?
I think,
You wrote about it today at Oilersnation.com is the reason I ask.
I think there's a lot of reasons to think he could. The right side, like I just said, is weak.
Yeah.
If Puljujarvi goes, you have Yamamoto and Derek Ryan, who are natural right wingers. For Hyman's right, but he plays on the left. I would
Yeah.
imagine you bring him over. So then you run into situations. Okay, so you have Hyman first line, Yamamoto second line, then you have Derek Ryan on your third line right wing. Why not just push Ryan down the lineup and have Bourgault play on the third line with Macleod and
It'd be a cheap way to get some cheap money in there.
yeah, exactly. Like he's got player under $1 million, has a lot of talent. I think it would be more beneficial for him to play in Bakersfield.
Yeah, I think
But if
so.
he needs to play for the Oilers, I don't think it would be a terrible thing. He had like 78 points or something like that in 40 games last year. So a comparable for him with statistically was Dawson Mercer on New Jersey. and he had a point every other game, and he was playing with, I don't know how to say the one guy's name, Yurgo something. Long name starts with S.
Sure.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Shagaranov. Yeah.
Shagaranov.
And then Andreas Johansson. So I was like, okay, well, I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if Bourgault managed to get his way up and play with like Draisaitl, for example.
Yeah, but why would they do that to start the season? Why wouldn't you have an NHLer in there?
That's the thing, like, but who? Like if Puljujarvi
minimum
goes,
contract
but you would rather have Derek Ryan
to start.
and-
Yeah.
To be fair,
But what's the difference between starting in game 10?
well, didn't Frank say the Oilers still have some moves out their sleeve?
Yeah, they do.
So it's like,
They have to because their
have-
roster's
yeah,
not.
they have to do
roster's
it.
not ready yet.
But I'm just thinking, like,
But-
if they choose to put that money towards defense, like we were just saying we need,
John Klingberg.
why not just throw a cheap contract? You're already using a year of his contract in Bakersfield anyway. I feel like, so when I was doing this research too, there's only been one player under a Ken Holland managed team that's played. So they played 1 year of junior after they were drafted, and they went straight to the NHL. There's only
Dylan
been
Larkin?
one player, was Dylan Larkin.
Yeah.
And that's like since like there was like 15 of them or something like that. So it seems unlikely in that sense. But
Well, he also
I
wasn't
don't know.
drafting very high in that Detroit era either.
Larkin
Bourgault
was a
was-
15th overall pick.
Bourgault was 22nd.
Yep.
So
So his last year, I'm just looking at Dylan Larkin. He played for the University of Michigan in 2014-15. 35 games. He had 15 goals, 32 assists. And then the very next year, he played with the Red Wings for the full season, got 23 goals.
I think that's when Zetterberg was still there.
Could be.
I think he played with Zetterberg.
Well, if you do go that route, just following it through, it wouldn't be like back in the day when you would expect a young guy like that to have to produce.
No. Like if he scored 12 goals, I feel like that would be a successful season for him. And the thing is, in Bakersfield too, the lineup's also loaded on the right side. You have Lavoie, Tyler Benson. I'm pretty sure Hamlin's a right. Then you also have Tulio, and then there's another guy called Dino something. I can't remember his name.
So why wouldn't you call up a Lavoie though?
Because Lavoie had 12 points last season.
Yeah, I don't think he's that good.
Yeah.
He
Well, then
needs
why
to
is
play.
why is it stacked?
I'm just saying that you have to like give Lavoie games for him to
Yeah.
get better. Like, and then I guess you could call it Benson if you want to run down that road again. I'd rather have Bourgault than Benson in the lineup. Wouldn't you guys?
I would, yeah.
yeah, 100%.
I just don't think Benson's earned the spot on the team where Bourgault, you really have not a lot to lose if it doesn't work. You're
No, I feel
already-
like Benson's had too many chances.
yeah, and like Bourgault, you're already spending a year of his contract because he's playing in Bakersfield.
Liam says, bring in Xavier Bourgault.
I think you should bring him in.
Well, we'll see what happens.
He's gotta
Maybe he
get
has a good
stronger.
training camp and he just
Yeah.
bullies his way out into the roster. Like, that wouldn't be a bad thing either.
Nope.
But it is time for Ask the Idiots. I got 3 questions you guys submitted over the last couple of days here. The boys haven't seen them, so I'm just going to ask for their first opinions. This is fucking stupid. Nation Dan,
Yes.
if you could take one player from Calgary who is currently under contract for the Oilers, but you have to give them one Oiler back, what's the swap you're making?
I'm trying to think of some of their players that are good. Do you mind bringing up their roster for me, Liam, just on dailyfaceoff.com so I can pick one?
There's the forwards.
Okay, I'm going to take Elias Lindholm, and I will be grudgingly and sadly give them back Derek Ryan.
Oh, once a flame, always a flame.
Jesus.
Liam, what's the swap you're making?
I'm taking Tanev, and I will give them back Devon Shore.
Fair trade.
I wish you just
Very anti-Devin Shore, man. I don't like this.
I wish you said Derek Ryan.
Waz, what is your move?
If I'm being honest, I'm going to go Mangiapane for Kailer Yamamoto.
Ooh, Waz getting spicy.
Yeah.
What the heck?
I like Mangiapane. I don't know. I think he's a solid
And
winger.
hate Kailer Yamamoto.
I don't hate it. I just think it's a fair swap.
I'm going to take Elias Lindholm, and I'm going to give you... I was going to say Zach Cassian, but he's not here anymore. Devon Shore.
I was thinking goalie, but I like Campbell now.
I'm looking forward to soup
Yeah.
and stew. All right, Liam, I'm coming to you first.
All right.
Question number 2, Ask the Idiots. So my wife and I were talking baby names, and I thought if the sex was a boy, then obviously Connor or Leon is at the top of the list.
Obviously.
But if it's a female, I'm thinking Connor Rita. My question for Ask the Idiots is, what is a good baby name that is Oilers related if we do end up having a girl?
What about Kailer? Kailer?
You could, yeah, sure.
There you go. I'll do that one.
That works. Waz, you are giving a female baby name that is Oilers focused.
Try to think here. Does Leona work for Leon?
Sure, why not?
Okay. I think there's a nicer name out there, but like if you can like pick, is there like a female version of Leo? I don't know.
I mean, probably.
Leah, there you go.
Leah, there you go.
You know?
Dan, you have to help out with a Oilers-centered
Yeah, you live
lady
with
girl name.
you live with children.
I think Nikita
Nikodin?
for Nikodin.
Oh, man. Poor girl.
Nikita.
Poor girl's going to get made fun of for that one.
Or a television show. Wasn't there a television show named
Oh,
Nikita?
yeah, Nikita. Yeah, there was a...
I
Yep.
knew Nikita. I knew two.
World of Warcraft Laws knows Nikita.
What if we went with Devon? Instead of Devon? Sure. Huh?
Well, he'd be traded, but he's gone.
Twice.
Evandra?
Honora.
Riley for like Ryan.
Oh, Riley Shahan.
Or
Oh,
Riley Sheehan?
Yeah.
Or just, how about you call her Greg in honor of Greg McKick? Third question, Ask the Idiots. Waz, I'm going to start with you.
yes.
When the Oilers have their Stanley Cup parade next summer, what is the ideal route in the area of the city? What is your parade route?
So I don't know if an ideal route, but I had an idea that was thrown out on Real Life like a year ago. How about a boat parade down the North Saskatchewan?
That'd be nice.
Yes.
The boys are just throwing
Just
beers
like-
at us from the boat.
Yeah, I think that'd be,
The
that'd be
Edmonton
awesome.
Queen comes out
Yes, that's my idea.
down the river. Dan, ideal cup route.
The only answer is the ring road. The Anthony Henday. You
Just drive all the way around
You
it.
just because the entire city's going to want to be there for it.
Sure.
So shut down the Henday. All the overpasses are still all good. I mean, people are going to be standing on them. But yeah, the Henday to me is where you do your parade road. That's like what, a kilometer of, or not a kilometer. That's like
Just 1 kilometer.
I mean, if you want to be adventurous,
25 kilometers around the city.
if you want to be adventurous, you can go 118s.
You could bring him down by the old barn. Liam,
Or the white mud.
your ideal parade route. He's even got Google Maps open here right now.
Well, since we would be Canada's team,
Of course.
Yeah.
why not
Yellow.
coast to coast?
Yellowhead.
Just go straight across
All
the
the
country.
way.
Highway 1.
Wow.
Highway 1. We're just moving.
Yeah.
We're moving.
There it is. Is this Highway 1?
I think so.
That's where we're going.
But we have to walk the cup the whole way.
So from Prince Rupert all the way to... Ba-do-ba-do.
When we do win the cup, that we have to announce the parade route before the Oilers do.
Sydney, not Australia, but is
You're
that
just
Nova
going to
Scotia?
refuse your British brethren
Are we not going to go
in
across
New
pond to
Brunswick?
Well,
Newfoundland?
they can come to us.
Then you should do actually.
Why not finish in Dildo, Newfoundland?
Yeah, why not?
That is a place.
Is that a place?
actually.
It sure is.
I would go there.
Can we find it?
But what about like
If only you could type Dildo, Newfoundland into the search bar.
Where's the fun in that?
You're going to find it with physical searching.
So if we're going to
Do you ever see those guys on TikTok where you see they get a still image and they figure out where in the world they are?
The
That is the wildest shit ever.
It's crazy. The one guy looks like he hasn't slept in months.
Well, yeah, 'cause he's just trying to figure out where he is. He's like, well, based on the foliage, I can tell that I'm here. I'm like, oh my God, dude, go outside.
dedication?
Go outside and stop looking at pictures of outside. My cup parade route, I'm going to say it starts behind Rogers Place, near that egg-looking statue thing,
Where Greg's stood.
in honor of Greg McKay.
Oh, I think I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's just going to tour around there, and then we're going to go to the Pint.
I
Found it.
Found it.
Good for you.
We're going to finish the
And then we're going to end
parade.
at the Pint, and then the boys are just going to go around the middle bar. They're just going to keep circling down to the back bar, kind of around, out the back door, up the back alley towards the front entrance again, and then back through again.
I like
Good
it.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah. Might be a bit shorter than mine, I think.
a little bit. Yeah, yours is going to take some time.
Two extremes there.
So there you go. Ask the Idiots. Submit your questions. I will read them regardless of how ridiculous they are. We have no sponsor for this segment right now, so you get 15 bag milk points. All 3 of you.
Can they redeem them all at one point?
Spend them wisely.
Wow.
Including the last question, Dan, came in from Derek Brassard. I don't know if that was actually him, though.
Penalty killer.
There's a lot going on in Dildo, Newfoundland, and Labrador. We got the grill.
Yep.
The Dildo Dory Grill.
Nan and Pop souvenir shop.
Never mind.
Yeah.
A souvenir shop.
A museum. Interesting.
The little dildo.
I wonder
what do you think there? I would love to know. I would love to know what their
tourism
T-shirts look like.
They've like CBC goes there like once a month.
Welcome to Dildo.
They have all kinds of, and then there's Warren's Funeral Home, of course.
Of course, shout out to Warren.
Dildo souvenir shop.
Shout out to Warren.
No website, unfortunately.
This isn't the most listened to podcast in dildo history. I don't know what is.
I'd like to see what's in that souvenir shop.
There's just fine postcards from around the area.
Website.
Yeah. Liam, it is time to get your buttons ready. We are doing the Twig and Berries hot and cold performers of the week. Let's wrap up this podcast because we're an hour and a half.
I need to piss.
twigandberries.ca. If you use the promo code NATION15, you get a little discount on your order. And I promise you that you should use it because the Twig and Berries collection, be it underwear, the nutsack undies, I'm wearing them right now, or the ODR hoodies. I got one of those at home. Very comfortable. You need them in your life. I promise you it's time to upgrade your wardrobe. twigandberries.ca. As we do every week, we start off with our veggies. I've got no theme here this week, Dan. So I'm just going to say the last week of your life because we didn't do an episode on Tuesday. What is your Twig and Berries cold performer from the last 7 days?
I'm just going to say straight up with no context. Everybody knows the context behind it. It's Hockey Canada. You're going to get my cold performer of the week.
Are you thrilled? I'm not.
Cold performer of many weeks, it seems like. Waz, your Twig and Berries cold performer of the week.
I'm going to give it to Mr. Mark Zuckerberg on Instagram for blocking the Oilers Nation account from posting for a week.
Well, technically, we're not blocked.
Well, it's like, I don't know what it is.
We're just in jail. We're in jail for a week.
Yeah, and I don't like it. So
I don't like it either. So Mark Zuckerberg, you have this coming.
You're as cold as ice.
Liam, your Twig and Berries cold performer of the week.
I will go with Matthew Tkachuk. How could you do this to your own fans? To force your way out? Is this the beginning of the player power movement in the NHL? I hope not. But I will go to him just because no fan base deserves this. Actually, maybe one of them, and they're kind of getting it right now.
Worst.
It's also just, I was thinking about it this morning because I was reading some stuff at Flames Nation about it and just how rude it must feel. Because it wasn't that long ago where not only were they cheering for the Calgary Flames, they were also falling in love with Brady Tkachuk, Matthew's brother. And now Matthew's leaving after Johnny just left.
And you know the big thing for me is that he straight up sat there and said, I love Calgary and I want to play here. And
did he really?
Yes, he said that in a post game in his exit interview. No, Tkachuk.
Matthew, yeah.
I'm 99% sure that happened.
Oh no!
Well, Johnny said it too. Johnny has been on camera saying that he wants to be a Flame for life.
I don't get it.
It all went downhill after that music video was released.
Win the cup, win the cup, win the cup, lift it up. Give yourself a button, Liam.
Worst.
There you go. My Twig and Berries cold performer of the week is, you know what? I'm just going to say that silly season's not so silly right now. We got a lot of rumors going on, a lot of speculation, but no movement. I want some trades. I want some signings. I want something to talk about. So, NHL, boring season. You get my cold performer of the week.
I'm upset.
Flipping the ledger, let's finish off the podcast on a positive note. Waz, I'm going to start with you. Your Twig and Berries hot performer of the week.
Can I say the Calgary Flames?
Sure.
Because it's been very enjoyable to watch them implode, and I know you're very kind of don't talk the smack unless Connor and Leon get re-signed, which I respect.
I'm not. There's not going to be any receipts of me.
Yes. Unfortunately for me, it's too many, but I'm just enjoying this right now.
Yeah!
Although I'm better late than never if I can plug my own podcast for a second. I was trying to be empathetic of the Flames fans this last week, and then I ended up kind of making fun of them for 20 minutes. So,
well, it happens. I asked that question on TikTok. Do we feel bad for them? Everyone said no. So everyone's
Well, here's the thing that somebody said back to me. It says, if this was in reverse, would Flames fans have any sympathy for us? And the answer is no.
No.
So you let them have it
NHL will
sometimes.
be after us.
I don't think Oiler fans have ever experienced this bad of a dismantling. Like even in 06, as bad as 06 was when Pekka and Pronger left town
and Spacek,
we still thought that we had a chance. Like management kind of like still sold us on that.
Yeah.
The Flames management is like, well, everyone, we gave it our best shot. On to the next one. Like it's insane. And it's with the snap of a Connor McDavid shot into the back of the net.
Mm-hmm. Game winner, series winner.
Franchise destroyer.
You'll always have game one, Calgary. You'll always have game one.
How about Johnny mentioning that too, eh? Like,
I thought we were chilling.
Real easy.
Yeah, I thought we were chilling after game one. I love that.
Winner's mentality.
Yeah. Or it's the reverse Mamba mentality. It's the reverse Kobe. Job's done.
Job's done.
Where was I? Liam, your Twig and Berries hot performer of the week.
Mine is a premature hot performer, but I need this.
Go for it.
The Edmonton Elks are taking on the 6-0 undefeated Winnipeg Blue Bombers tonight. The Elks haven't won a game at Commonwealth ever.
Are you going?
I am going in my Hawaiian shirt and in a limo.
Oh, nice.
So,
wow.
Yep, just rented one.
Wow.
So if you see me there,
rent to own.
You will be feeling hot and hot. Did I miss anybody? Why did you do it?
That was first.
I'll go.
Nation Dick, your Twig and Berries hot performer of the week.
Well, we mentioned him earlier, but I'm going to give it to one Brady Tkachuk, who can't help but dunk on Flames fans and all of the nonsense that there. He went and got engaged. Stole the limelight even when they're trying to get the best value for Matt Tkachuk. He went and got engaged. So Brady Tkachuk, for being just that Tkachuk brother that we all love to watch now, apparently, you're going to get my hot performer of the week.
It's getting hot in here.
My Twig and Berries hot performer of the week. Let me think here. I don't know. There's nothing going on.
Connor McDavid won a SP.
Shout out to Connor always. But you know what?
What did he win it for?
Best player.
Best player.
Got it.
You know what I'm going to say? Dan, I don't know if you're watching it this year, but I'm going to say the start of the new season of Big Brother has been pretty good so far.
Yeah, I've been watching.
I'm actually interested this season after a couple of years of just being completely out of it.
That backstage twist was absolute BS, though.
Well,
Do you agree with that? Like that they were going to have to fight out to be able to stay in the house even after
I want to see it, though.
Yeah, I guess.
And then what happened is what happened, and then it was just kind of like all these things we had planned, just forget about it.
Yeah. Cancel the twist.
I've never watched Big Brother.
World of Warcraft was.
Damn it, was.
There's a couple of numbers on here. I don't know what they
Let's just hit them.
This is why I'm hot.
Oh,
I'm fly.
you ain't because you not.
That was for mine.
Who doesn't love Mims?
There's
What else
one
don't
more.
you
Can
know?
I just test?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been up and down like a toilet seat.
Kind of like this
Ken
episode.
Holland is. This episode was all up.
It was all
An
up,
hour
no
and a
downs.
half.
Why do you think I asked to join? I'm like, I kind of want to join. I don't know what else there is.
Just as we wrap it up, I want to say thank you again to Oodle Noodle, DoorDash, Twig and Berries, Cornerstone Insurance. And I'm going to remind you, the World Junior is coming up in August. So if you're looking for tickets here at Rogers Place, check out the IIHF website and get your tickets for the tourney. Little August hockey for you. It's never happened before. Probably won't happen again. Get your tickets to the World Juniors. And with that, I will say, fare thee well, fair listener. Enjoy Oilersnation Radio episode 214 and have a great weekend.
Shout out Nicholas from Germany.
Thanks for listening to Oilers Nation Radio, delivered by DoorDash. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram.